Okay guys, welcome to another RUF setup. This is a setup that got me pole position in the VR room race. This isn't the pole lap, this is the best lap from the practice session, which was only 2 tenths faster than what I did in the actual league qualifying. We'll go through a quick little guide with this RUF. So we're going to come into this first bend and we're going to go down into 4th gear just on the 100 there and turn early over the curb and just skim the curb there. Be careful not to run too wide, otherwise the car can get unbalanced and spin out. Now we're going to brake just past 100, go fast as we can down into 2nd gear and keep it in 2nd gear nice and tight on the curb there, then hard on the power, or into 3rd gear early and skim the curb on the left. Gives you a little bit of burst of speed through the straight now. I don't know why, but it seems to give you a tenth maybe. So we're going to come into the braking zone and we're going to look out for, on the left you've got the 100 coming up. We're going to brake just before the curb, the blue bit of curb there, and we're going to go hard down into 1st gear and try and get the rotation as well as we can. We managed that in qualifying, but we struggled in the race, which was partly down to some setup changes we made, but we'll go through them after. So we're going flat out through this right hander now and then we're coming into the left hander where we're going down into 2nd gear really hard and staying nice and tight and on the power as soon as you can get the power down. Be careful of the back end. And then into 3rd gear and we're going to swing it into that bend. You want to lift off the gas slightly and then back on it straight away as hard as you can. Then into 4th gear, 5th gear, and then we're going to turn in as close to the wall on the left as you can. Then into 4th gear over the curb and hard on the power coming into the left hander now. Where we're going to go down into 2nd gear as hard as we can, stay nice and tight, and then we want to get on the power as soon as we can. See the way on the power nice early into 3rd gear, 4th gear, skimming the curbs, and back down to 3rd gear and be careful through this corner. You don't want to run wide or it will invalidate the lap. Then we're going to go hard onto the power and then into 4th gear just on the exit now and then we're over the line for a 1 minute 36.6. okay, so there's probably maybe a low 36 possible in that lap. I don't think I could have got 35s. Obviously running no assists, a little bit harder to push for the 35s. We'll go through a quick little setup changes that we made anyway now. So there was a few things obviously to note for this setup. I made some changes on the last 2 races for qualifying and left them for the race to see how they'd work, and they didn't really work. They worked when the fuel went light, but while it was heavy it was just not good at all. But go through this setup now. For HOCKENHEIM we're running slightly higher left pressures for the tight left handers that were heating up the tyres up, but that was only on the front. The rear we kept the same. Brake pressure 75, went up a bit to give us a bit extra braking. Brake balance 58, we should have really probably went to 60 I think on that. Brake duct we should have also went way up for the race, I think maybe to 30%. But for qualifying obviously we ran 5% just to give us a little bit of ventilation on them. But for the race you really do need to go at least to 25% now on the brakes. It's definitely something that's been changed on the last patch to do with the failures and brakes. Brake mapping all the way to left, restrictor as normal. Gears can't change them, so obviously they're as they are. Now the acceleration said 12%. We probably for the race should have went down a bit, I think, to maybe 5%, but for qualifying 12% was fine. Limited slip deceleration now. See, we went to 90% now in this setup. I think we actually ran 85 for qualifying and went to 90 for the race, but I think 100% for the race every time. 85 to 90% for qualifying, 100% definitely for the race. We needed that extra deceleration with the heavy fuel. Preload was fine on the M80, and radiator 0% for qualifying and 15% for the race, fine, no worries with that. Bump stops we went a little bit lower to I think the default setup to give us a bit more stability to the ground. Didn't really need to worry with the bumps when this car seemed to handle the curves pretty well. Fast bump you could go up a little bit on the rear there just to try and on the maybe just to give the front a little bit more turning on the corners, a little bit softer on the front. Maybe do that through some of the other settings just for that tight hairpin. It was struggling for the rotation in the race, but for qualifying there was no issue, it was fine for qualifying. Ride height 62 and 17. I ran 69, this is where it went wrong. I ran 69 for the race. I think I should have ran 70 for the race to give a bit more front end grip again. Just little changes like that can make a difference for the race. Qualifying it's fine, but for the race you do need to consider the race a little bit more. I've learned my lesson from that now anyway, so I know what to start changing for the race, and obviously I can give you these details now as well, as I'm still learning on the game. You always find something out that you didn't know before. Cambers nothing too drastic there, reasonably equal all the way down. And downforce 0.3 again for the race. I think I should have went down to 0.2 to 0.3 for when running heavy fuel. The back end was really secure anyway, so with heavy fuel it was a little bit too understeery. So for the race it should have gone down to 3, I think, for the rear at least, maybe 2, but I probably would have gone 3. So a bit more speed on the straight, still stable when you're light on fuel and the tyres are wearing out. Force feedback as usual, no changes. As obviously I keep everything the same, and there was no replay to share because it didn't show it. It blocked me from viewing the replay. So there'll be another setup coming soon. Hope you enjoyed this, and remember to subscribe. Thanks guys.